Hey everyone, grab some popcorn, Snuggie, and your favorite stuffed animal because we're about to experience some spooky footage. Entertainment Review brings you Annabelle. For those of you who may be slightly confused, Annabelle is not your average doll. Let's jump straight into the movie. It begins with two nurses talking to world-renowned paranormal experts Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are now in possession of the Annabelle doll today. The nurses recall the history of the doll in an interview with the Warrens, telling them the history of said doll. The ever so original young couple are expecting a baby, and the mother has a small collection of, you guessed it, dolls. The husband gives his wife a creepy porcelain doll with eerie features, most of which pertain to the odd way that its makeup is painted on. Now, you may think to yourself, hey, this thing's pretty freaky, of course it's gonna rip your family to shreds, but in actuality, there's nothing wrong with the doll until two cult murderers come into the couple's house and attempts to murder our favorite married couple. Somehow, the cult is able to conjure a spirit that then manifests itself within the doll, making it uber creepy. Being the smart lad that he is, the husband tries to throw out the doll, seeing that it's the source of the newfound bumps in the night. However, like any other horror flick, the doll reappears when the family moves into its new apartment, who are hoping to get away from the bad vibes of the murderers and killer bags of Easy Pop. Strange occurrences get stranger, and the doll becomes more menacing. The mother seeks answers from the local priest, as well as a bookstore owner who has just so happened to have paranormal experiences. They find that the spirit is actually a demon and wants to claim a soul. After countless close calls with the demon inhabiting Annabelle, the bookstore owner decides she'll put an end to the madness, and that's where I'm gonna shut my mouth. The movie appears to be over, but the two nurses from the beginning have still yet to tell their own story to Ed and Lorraine, possibly leaving the possibility for a sequel. Those viewers that have seen The Conjuring, you already have had a taste of what Annabelle is. For you bigger horror movie fans, you may be familiar with the Insidious series, along with the new movie Ouija, which along with The Conjuring and Annabelle are all from the same producers. What can we take from this? What was made famous in Insidious, the ever so creepy strings that we begin to play louder and louder, suddenly stop, build tension, and then all that tension would be released by a bang or something that jumps out, which maximizes the terror, although it is a cheap way of making the movie scarier. Sadly, it's the only way the movie is scary, making the audience anxious, anticipating the scare, then getting slapped in the face by a flying doll or something of that nature. In fact, the problem with the jump scares in this movie is how much we see them coming. By that, I mean that the way they are shot, you know exactly when they will happen, while they are still creepy and don't provide the shock needed for an effective jump scare. Now, I praise the movie since the story followed pretty closely to the actual accounts. That is, except for Annabelle herself. Although we may think that the creepy porcelain dummy that's been terrorizing us at home through commercials is what the doll would actually be, Annabelle was, and is, still a Raggedy Ann doll. Shocking, I know. Props to the writers, because I couldn't make a rag doll from Cracker Barrel super scary either. I was thoroughly disappointed mainly because I rode the hype train coming from The Conjuring. What I wanted to see towards the end of the movie was cut short, probably because the company wants to milk the series for even more money. Can I blame them? No. Did it disappoint the fan base? Most definitely. All in all, if you want to get spooked this Halloween season, or you're a fan of The Conjuring, go see Annabelle. It's worth your money, but I'll be more than happy to say, I told you so, when you leave the theater with the feeling of what happens to the nurses. Overall score, I'm giving the story a 7 out of 10. Post-production gets a 9 out of 10. Spookiness, I'm giving a 5.5 out of 10. That brings us to a grand total of 7 killer bags of Easy Pop. Anyway, that's been my review of Annabelle. Hope you turn into Entertainment Review next time. See ya.